Welcome to the Youth Show. In this show, we talk about the various problems the current youth is facing. It can be workplace issues, it can be career related issues, it can be educational issues. Whatever problem you are facing, come to our channel, comment on our video, watch our videos, and I am sure that you will learn a lot. Sir, one of our viewers is facing a workplace problem. The problem she is facing is that her manager texts her at 11 p.m. daily regarding work. So how does she manage and set particular boundaries in her workplace without risking her appraisal?
Yes, sometimes this kind of problem happens, with managers who are extremely demanding. I think for that it's of course I always tell that one should try to work the maximum, but it is always good to have boundaries. And one of the boundaries is that sleeping time. For a healthy lifestyle, one should have at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So that's, if you consider going to sleep at maybe 11, so you wake up at 7, right? So or maybe you go to sleep at 10 and wake up at 6. Early to bed, early to rise always is a healthy schedule. And for these times, what I do is I have my phone on do not disturb mode. So my phone will not ring, or I'll not the messages will not beep after 10 and till morning 6, so I can get uninterrupted sleep. So that I think is required for everyone nowadays. iPhone users, Android users all have this feature. For extreme at night, unless of course you are in a production on-call critical situation, then of course you should not have your phone on do not disturb, or some doctors also who are on emergency duty. But for most of us, for the rest of us, it's very important that we have a do not disturb put in, and from maybe 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. so that we can get undisturbed sleep. The other part, which is not the sleep part, but setting boundaries, it is difficult when you are very young, because you don't have a lot of expertise, you're learning. So at that time, my advice to all of you youngsters is that try to work very hard, try to make the deliverables, complete the deliverables, and of course if you can't pick up the phone at ungodly hours, or extreme hours, make sure to always call back. Maybe you are you're having a dinner, or you're in the restroom and you don't have the phone with you, but always make it a point to call back, unless of course it's between that 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. when you are at sleep, right? So summary is that try to cooperate the maximum with your manager, have a healthy sleep, put your phone on do not disturb. And third is in the evening time, if you are on call for a production issue or a deadline, of course you have to be very alert with your phone call during emergency time. But all other times, if you can't pick up the phone immediately, try to call back your manager. Try to be very proactive, very respectful of the work of the manager, and try to give your deliverables. And this problem happens mostly for youngsters. With seniority, this problem tends to reduce. But of course, for critical roles, this problem is a lifelong problem for doctors on call, or for production related support, which of course is a completely different ball game. But for the rest of us, it's a good practice to cooperate, to work with our managers, so that the career growth path is not hindered. But at the same time, try not to sacrifice on your health, on your sleep, on your mental well-being. And of course, if one can't pick up the phone right away, you can always call back, but make it a point to follow up and call back, so that the caller does not feel belittled or that you're snubbing that person. So I hope this helps.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello viewers, thank you for viewing our channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because otherwise it's very easy to get lost in the YouTube's hundreds and thousands of content creators. So if you like this channel, subscribe, like, and keep on viewing, keep on commenting. Let us know what new questions you have. I know youngsters of today need guidance. They have thousands and thousands of questions and they need proper mentorship. I've been doing for our institutions, and I would love to help all of you out. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Thank you.
So Professor Alex, we received a comment on one of our videos. A particular viewer is facing a lot of rejections recently in his interviews. So he wants to know whether the job market is bad, whether there is some lack in preparation, or whether the resume is not up to the mark.
Yes, this question I frequently face, that when students or when applicants constantly keep on facing rejections, sometimes they are, they don't know that is it something wrong with their resume, is something wrong with their HR, something wrong with their technical. Sometimes some candidates, they are not aware, because the recruiters don't make it very clear that why they are rejecting the candidate, right? So in this case, I would say first of all, do a resume or a CV upload. There are a lot of ATS score testing sites for free. You can just see whether your resume is properly formatted using those ATS score sites, and try to make your resume ATS 90 and above, right? 90 as a very good resume score. Secondly, I would say get your resume peer reviewed by your with similar kind of candidates. Get it peer reviewed. Sometimes I think get it peer reviewed by those who are in the industry, rather than from students who don't have a job. Try to get it reviewed by your college teachers who are maybe in the placement department, or your seniors, your alumni seniors from your alma mater, so they can say that is the resume proper. And it's not only about formatting, because formatting will be caught by the ATS scores, but it's about content. What you're writing, is it is the relevant content there or not? Second point is, look at the job descriptions and try to see whether your resume is a match with that or not. Because if your resume is not a match with the job descriptions given, then of course that might be a cause of rejection. That if the requirement is, let's say you know Java or you know Python, and you don't know it, it's not in your resume, so you may be rejected, right? So that is there. And also the next point is, try to make your preparation such that the requirements that are given in the job JD, job description, you adhere. You have the expertise in there, and also you have experience in terms of projects, in terms of other maybe hackathons where it's a demonstrated experience in those requirements. After that, I would say try to again enlist the help of counselors or your seniors or some of the peer colleagues to see that to give some mock interviews. There are softwares also available, but try to see whether you are having that fluency or not. And I think lastly, try to see the body language of the recruiter and try to figure out that is it something that you are doing wrong. I know it's very difficult because when it's one's own interview, we are by nature designed not to be very aware, and if we are aware, sometimes it creates a lot of anxiety, or sometimes it creates a lot of self-awareness, which leads to a performance degradation. So I think best is give mock interviews, arrange with your peers, with your seniors, with your university teachers, and try to find out that what is what is wrong with you, what you are doing wrong. So this is from a internal, like your own perspective. But of course, getting a job also depends on the job market and also on the company conditions. So for the company conditions, you can look at, for the public listed companies, of course, you can look at the business news and you can search with that company name. But for private limited companies, it's sometimes you have to just talk to existing employees or even look at reviews and see whether the company is doing well or not, and then also it may not be very obvious. So that may be a reason. And lastly, as I said, the job market, that of course you can find out from the business news, if you just look at the news. And also one of the often I think ignored resource is the forums. There are a lot of job forums where discussion boards where you can write questions. A lot of there are volunteers who like to answer. They take it like a charitable volunteering to answer the questions of different job applicants. So you can get a lot of insights and also company insights from those kind of discussion forums, or sometimes it is YouTube's kind of like I am doing. You can get a lot of information by subscribing and by constantly keeping your views on the what's going on in the market, what's going on in the company, or what's going on in the geopolitical situation in the country. So if you keep, and I think lastly, just keep on doing it, be positive, just keep on trying, and definitely you will get a job. I think you can take 300 to 500 as a reference point of the number of applications you can do before you get a job. So if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections even, don't be very sad or upset, because this is it's a step journey, and it's not a one-hit thing that you will just get in the first attempt, and very few lucky ones do that, and it's very rare also. But it's more like a step that you keep on improving yourself, keep on taking feedback, and keep your spirits up, keep your spirits with a positive outlook, and keep on trying, and definitely you will get the job that you desire. But the important thing is to keep on learning, to keep on improving, and to keep a very positive spirit.
Thank you so much, Professor. I am sure thousands of aspirants across the globe face a similar problem, and this will definitely help them.
Sure. Thank you. Glad to help.
Professor Alex, one of the most common problems that our viewers are facing is that their college placement committees are not quite helpful or not quite responsive. They are not helping with resume preparation or interview preparation. So how do these candidates cover this gap?
Yeah, so there are thousands of colleges, and not every college give a lot of priority to placements or placement preparations. There are various reasons for that. But let's try to figure out how a candidate can bypass those lacuna on the part of the college or the part of the placement officer to get a good job. So I think one of the very ignored areas is the job description. So keep on searching for the jobs in portals such as Indeed or Monster or Naukri, and keep on seeing the job descriptions. What is it that the employer is looking for? What are the skill sets? What are the languages? What are the projects? What are the experience required? Next is have your resume in a ATS format. ATS 90 is prescribed for proper formatting. Next is get as much possible internships, micro internships like job simulation. Get internships, maybe online internships, and build your resume. And at the same time, looking at the job description of hundreds of different dream jobs, build your skills so that you can put your resume together which matches the kind of job descriptions that are in your dream job. And next point is, you know, the internships, and then keep giving mock interviews. I think that is very much important. Nowadays you can even use the Gen AI to come up with, you know, top 100 HR questions of, let's say you have 20 companies that are your dream companies. For each company you can just ask your Gen AI like ChatGPT or Gemini or Meta AI or, you know, Grok. You can ask questions like, for this company, what are the top 100 HR questions? What are the top 100 technical questions? You can say that, you know, give me a 100 question aptitude test from this company. So now it has become very easy, and you can continuously practice aptitude so that you don't get eliminated in the aptitude round. Then, some companies take hackathons or, you know, competitive coding. So practice that, and again use generative AI to check last 10 years frequently asked questions, and just keep on practicing. And then practice the technical interview questions. Again, you know, top 100 technical interview questions from this company or for each of the 20 companies. Keep on practicing them. And of course, another good thing about generative AI is you can say that questions along with their answers, so that, you know, you can have some reference frame when you are answering questions, that what is the answer the search engine or the generative AI is giving. And then, you know, what are the top HR questions, top 100 HR questions of your dream company or dream companies, and keep on practicing. And then I would say reach out to your peers, to your seniors, and to your teachers, and have them kind of do a mock interview and see where your preparation lies. And then, you know, once you do all these things and you are properly prepared, then I would say keep on applying with LinkedIn, with Indeed, with Monster, with Naukri, all the job sites. Keep on applying, and also keep on looking at the newspaper and the forums for, you know, walk-in interviews. There are fresher recruitment jobs available, the websites are available. Keep looking at what are the jobs that are being posted every day and keep applying, and you will definitely get a breakthrough. Some people get breakthrough from attending the hackathons, attending the competitions, and some recruitment happens from those areas. Some people get breakthrough from attending the job fairs. Some people get breakthrough from internships leading to pre-placement offers. So it is also very important that, you know, there are now various portals like Internshala and other portals where you can just apply for remote internships as well as physical internships. But bear in mind that the physical internships are more likely to give you kind of a PPO or pre-placement offer rather than the remote internships. So with all this, it's a continuous process. It's a process that you have to keep your motivation high, be very positive, and keep at it, constantly keep at it. You know, allocate a few hours every day, have a disciplined schedule in place, and just keep doing it. And then, of course, you know, when there is a requirement, there is, of course, if you are properly qualified, properly prepared, you'll be able to crack that and get the job. But it's also very important to prepare yourself in areas of demand. If, let's say, for example, you are preparing COBOL, which is an obsolete language, then you are not going to get a job, right? Or even Java nowadays is not that much in demand than Python is. So if you prepare Python well, you're more likely to get a good job than, you know, some others that are not so much in demand. So it's very important that you keep an eye on the market, and that's something you can get from the market news. Follow YouTubers, you know, like follow this channel, follow other channels which speak about this kind of topics. Follow, you know, Twitter or X. There are a lot of experts or influencers on these different fields who talk about different areas of coding or different areas of the job market, or how to prepare yourself. Follow motivators and keep the motivation high, keep trying, keep preparing, keep learning. You'll definitely crack your dream job. And if all else fails, have a second backup as higher study, master's or PhD program, so that you get time, you're more qualified, you have more time to prepare, and you prepare at a higher level. Maybe prepare for after postmasters, postgraduate, or post MBA, or post PhD, so that you can have that a dream career that you're looking for.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind advice.
Sure, glad to be of help.
So sir, we have seen in our comments that many of the viewers has asked that one of them has received a job offer from the first college campus, so they should accept it or wait for the further better options.
Yes, many questions come on this topic, that if a student or a fresh graduate gets one job offer, should they take it or should they wait for the next? Now the answer is that there is always something better and better and better, but at the same time make sure that the company that you're going to join, that is something that you want to spend time in. So if you don't want to do sufficient research, and if you don't want to join that company, then don't apply. So this is very important. Many students, they casually apply, and then when they get the job, they are not willing to take it. So first of all, understand the job description, understand the company profile, do research, and if it is something that you want to work in, then only apply. That's number one. Number two is many colleges or most colleges have some placement policies where if let's say a company is giving you 100 units salary, then they will let you apply to another company only if it gives like twice, double, or maybe 150%. Like if you get 100 units salary, if that company is offering you 150 units or more, then only you can sit. Or sometimes it's 200 units, like double the salary or more, then only you can sit for another campus interviews, or else you cannot sit. So this is in the corporate placement policies of most colleges. And sometimes there are like dream offers, super dream offers, like like you got 100 units, some other companies giving you 400 units, like 4 times the salary, then they'll allow you to sit. So in those cases, definitely I would say you can try your luck. Like for example, you got in any small tech company or startup, and you have a Google is coming, or you have a chance to sit in Google or Microsoft for campus interviews. So you can sit, and you should sit. I think it's good that you have at least that interview experience, right? But apart from that, it's I think all the companies know that the first round of people they recruited, not all of them will join. Many of them will go for higher study. Many of them will keep on applying for these off-campus or recruitments, or applying directly to the companies, and they'll get those higher offers. In fact, I've talked with many CEOs, and they also have children who are of your age or who are just going to join, right? So they are quite flexible. They know that they cannot match the salaries as Google or Microsoft, and they are completely okay with it. So so summary and sum and substance is, if you get first of all, before sitting for a company, try to do the research and sit in companies you want to work for. Look at the work job description. Is it something that those technology or something you will learn? So the most important part is to take a long-term view into a learning perspective. So you should be learning. You should be that will give you happiness, lifelong learning. You should be thinking that, no, I'm growing as an individual, I'm growing my skills, I'm learning new things. So that is quite important. Every company has some policies, some internal politics, some competition inside. So those plus minus will be there for any company. but make sure that it is a company that is reputed, that that will give you the respect, the workplace respect. They have good learning opportunities. The technologies and skills you are going to be working on will build you. And ultimately, I keep saying to all my students, all my viewers, the ultimate goal is financial freedom. Ultimately, do whatever you are earning, save something, and ultimately it should allow you to retire early. Even though you may not retire, but you should be able to say that fine, I have the financial freedom, I am generating enough passive income from my investments, that the job I am doing, it's for my own pleasure, but I don't depend on it for my livelihood. That should be the ultimate goal of everyone. I keep telling my students.
Thank you, sir.
I hope it helped.
Sir, we have received a comment on one of our videos that the company of an employee has started incorporating AI, has started pushing AI into their daily workflows. So that particular person is concerned that what should they learn to stay relevant, to stay valuable and contribute in their company?
Yes, it is true that companies are now considering that if a work can be done by AI, then they will not hire a person. In fact, managers in top companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they have to justify a new job, a new role. They have to justify that this particular job cannot be done by AI. Then only there are various approval levels, they get the approval. So for any employee or team member who is working on a job, I would say first of all, learn to use AI to do that job better, quicker and more efficiently, more volume of jobs. Because AI always gives a kind of an average case solution. AI will never give that the unique kind of inputs or unique creations done by humankind. For example, if you are writing a letter, right? AI will give in a jargon-filled word a standard English letter. But for example, if you are writing a letter, you can get AI to write a letter, standard letter, but on top of that, unless you put in emotions, you put in personalizations like facts, like reviews or like commentary, then that will be a very bland kind of a letter. So I always tell my staff members and team members to first use the generative AI to create a draft, but never to send that. Always edit it, update it, augmented it with emotions, with human commentary, with personalization, personal experiential or organizational snippets that cannot be given by generative AI, right? So and that is not only for writing letters, that is there for everything. If you are let's say a coder, right? If you are a developer, I would say you go and use Gen AI like Perplexity or like Claude, Sonnet, and you make the generic code, but you add the specific human touch on top of that, right? So use AI, in summary, use AI for quickly coming up with the base or the reference solution, but update it with human augmented creations, creativity, emotions. Otherwise, AI generated content is very bland, very kind of boring, so to say. It doesn't create that impact, and also the reader, whenever they read or whenever they see AI generated content, they can understand that there is no emotion to it. It's so bland, it's so boring. So AI, while is going to take over repetitive jobs, going to take over jobs that don't require any human kind of creativity or input. Like for example, pick and place robots, right? There's no creativity required. You pick, you place, you pick, you place. So such type of things, or like modular things. Like for example, AI is a big hit in the call centers, where you want to know what's my bill, or what's what plan am I on. So you don't need a human to look at it and tell. You can just automate it using AI, and as soon as it hears what's my bill amount or what's my plan, it will immediately search, fetch the result from the databases and show it, or tell it to the through speech to text or text to speech, tell it to the caller. For these kind of jobs, I think AI is the best case solution. And also for kind of in dangerous areas, like in firefighting or in mines, maybe AI robots can do a better job, right? If they can keep humans safe. But I would say, in summary, all team members, employees, they should first of all learn prompt engineering very well. Second of all, learn the AI, generative AI tools, the generic tools like ChatGPT or Claude Sonnet, or the Meta AI, but also to use specific tools like the AI video generator Neo 3, and the specific tools that they use in their work to get the average case or a reference frame very quickly, and then build on top of that using their creativity, their emotions, their personalizations. Like if a company is sending a note, it should have some details about the company, right? If it's a generic solution, it becomes so boring. So I think AI is here to stay. AI will help human beings in a big way, but human beings should never lose their originality, never lose their creativity, and never lose the X factor or the uniqueness that makes them human.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely agreed with you.
Hi viewers, if you're liking our channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, because if you don't like and subscribe, you will, and if you like our channel, you will not get it. It's very easy to get lost amongst thousands and thousands of videos and thousands of content creators. So if you like our channel, it's full of advice, full of youth content, then you'll be able to get regular updates from the youth content queries that youth face. See you next time. Thanks for watching.
Professor Alex, a lot of our viewers are nowadays concerned due to the constant changing of rules related to visa, immigration, etc. So what career or what career program should they choose to settle for the long term in a foreign country?
It is true that nowadays almost regularly we are seeing in various countries, not only Canada, we are seeing in US, we are seeing in UK, the visas are getting difficult, and less number of visas are allocated. This is because there has been a period where excessive amount of visas have been given, and this has caused local resentment amongst these various countries like UK, Canada, USA, all these, Australia. So all of these countries, their local politicians, to appease their local citizens and voters, they have reduced the number of visas they're giving out to students as well as to working professionals. Number one. Number two is they have made it, they have increased the visa expenses, they have made it more costly to get those visas, right? So the question is, first of all, for students, what should they study? And secondly, for professionals, what is the way forward? Now for students, I always, when even I applied, I had a plan A, plan B and plan C. So if somebody is thinking of going to Canada, maybe have Canada as a plan A, and maybe have a country like Germany as plan B, and plan C maybe Austria or France or Australia can be plan C. So have three: plan A, plan B and plan C. If USA is your plan B or plan A, maybe have USA as plan A and then have plan B as Canada and plan C as maybe Germany, right? So have a mix of countries, maybe plan C can be a country that is relatively safe, like maybe UAE or Singapore, right? That doesn't have very high visa rejection rate, or but at the same time they have quality education. That's for the students. Now for the professionals, I would say if any country, let's say if Canada has reduced the work visas, USA has made the work visas, put $100,000 as the H1B fees for new petitions. Not existing H1B holders are not affected, but for new petitions. So it is highly likely that unless somebody is quite senior, the companies will not sponsor. So in those cases, my advice to all the young professionals is that target some other country, or maybe even target coming back to India, and India in Bangalore, in Pune, in Bombay, they are booming. Actually the startups are booming. Actually the big companies are paying good amount of money relative to the cost of living, right? So that's of course that's a very good option, and actually the government of India is promoting that option. But I understand that many people want to have experience abroad or settle abroad. That's fine. So for them, they should try countries like UAE, countries like Singapore, maybe Australia, maybe nowadays even Japan is inviting, right? Finland is inviting, then Austria is there, Germany is there. So there also I think this plan A, plan B, plan C option can be taken, and Europe is quite inviting. Of course one has to learn the language, local language, but that can be done within a couple of months, right? There are software, there are classes, that can be done. That's not such a big hassle. So overall I would say that the companies now they are changing their strategies. So now they are going to have more GCCs, which is the Global Capability Centers, and offshoring and nearshoring. Like nearshoring means, like for US the nearshoring would be Canada. Offshoring means maybe instead of taking people to work in USA, US companies will give the work to their Indian offices, and Indian offices would hire over here, right? So I think entrepreneurs are very clever, and they will definitely figure out a way. These companies have a lot of intelligent people, but the most common solution that experts are talking about are of course offshoring, nearshoring and the GCCs. So but again those might be subject to tariffs, but as of now there is no tariffs on the tech counterparts, so they can do it. Even if there are tariffs, all the big US companies have GCCs here in India, so they can do the work in the GCCs and use the Indian income to pay off the Indian salary. Like for example Google has one of the biggest markets in India, so they can do even work that is used globally, like even in US, and develop it in India and pay the salaries from the Indian income. Same thing with Microsoft, same thing with Amazon, same thing with I would say all the big companies like Lexmark. So I think the big companies are not so much worried, but again the smaller startups, they are the ones that are more worried. But I see even startup founders, entrepreneurs are very intelligent. They'll find out a way to get their work done in different countries, and sometimes they do it as a club where they do 20% work in US, 20% in UK, 30% in Canada, 30% in India. Like that they there's a team sitting in different places in the world. And for even startups, there is companies like WeWork and Regus, which just very quickly one can open a office in a new country or a new city, and they can have a very international team. So for startups even this is happening. So I don't think true talent will have any problems. But of course, the mediocre ones will have, but those who are very good in AI, data science, IoT, and all the latest emerging technologies, they will not have any problem. But yes, maybe they might have a dream that I will settle in US or I'll settle in Canada. That dream maybe have to change a bit, that okay, I'll settle in maybe plan A or plan B or plan C. So that is the change I see at this moment. And those who are quite not that meritorious, they may need to kind of have more years of experience before trying to apply for abroad, right, for jobs abroad. But overall, I don't see a lot of disruption. I see more opportunities for India, because India has the largest youth force in the world, the largest number of working people in the world. So there are, Western countries are, aging, the population is aging. So they need young people to work and support the economy, right? They need people to churn out all the factory produced output and all the software and all the hardware. So for that you need the youth power. So I think India is in a very good position to deliver those, and not only India, even Mexico and Vietnam and Thailand, all these countries are in a very good position, and China also is in a very good position to deliver in the next few decades.
Thank you, sir. Thousands and millions of aspirants are there who think of settling abroad, so this will definitely help them.
Yeah, I think all the visa restrictions in few countries are happening, but new countries are opening up. So there is a requirement for talent. Talent will not go waste. Talent will not, if it is country A or country B or country C, but talent will definitely find a way to settle and grab the opportunities.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir.
And if you know somebody who is trying to settle abroad, either for studies or for a job, don't forget to share this video and like and subscribe, so that you keep on getting such content that is helpful for your career. Thanks for watching.
Professor Alex, a lot of our viewers, a majority of them are students, they are interested in going abroad to Canada for their further studies. But recently, for the past few days, there has been a lot of negative reviews regarding Canada. So what kind of situation is there, and what should a particular student do?
Okay, it's a very good question, and myself, I am educated in Canada in the University of British Columbia, and I live in Canada most of the time, and then I split between US and India. So I think I am quite I have my foot in the country and I know what's going on. So I would love to answer this question. So see, my experience with Canada has been exemplary. I studied in the University of British Columbia with full scholarship. Then at that time I got a job in TELUS, and when I was graduating, and it was a very happy story. And I can tell about my classmates and colleagues also. But now, looking at the situation, I can tell you a few things about Canada. First of all is, when I went, it was not so easy to get into Canada or to get into university. But over time, Canada has, increased the number of intake it is taking from countries like India, China and other places. And there I think there was a strategic mistake by taking in too much number of students, and as a result most students did not get a chance to study in the universities, but they went for diploma colleges or other community colleges. So for a student who is aspiring to go to Canada, if you want to have a good experience after your graduation, try to go to universities rather than diploma or short-term certificates. Try to go to universities or colleges is the second choice, where you can get the degrees, right? Not diplomas. Try to get degrees or not certificates, not 1 year certificates, 2 year certification or diploma programs, but try to go for the 4-year degree programs or the master's degree of 2 years or 1.5 years. Okay. This is number one. Second is that your English speaking abilities must be quite developed, because Canada is a English and French speaking country. It's two languages, the official languages. So unless you can speak those languages well, unless you are quite fluent in those languages, you will face problems getting a job in Canada. Third is Canadian work experience. So internships are very much required, sometimes it's called a co-op program in Canada, or internships, even if it's an online internship, but it's very important to have internships in your resume. You must use the on-campus work study program, and even if it's not there, try to get teaching assistantships or research assistantships from teachers. I myself got teaching assistantship and then research assistantship in UBC, and that gave me a lot of exposure how to deal with people in Canada, how to deal with the citizens and with the students in Canada. So summary is, try to get into universities with 4-year degrees or with 2-year masters, and try to avoid the diplomas or short-term programs. Try to improve your English by giving TOEFL, by studying and practicing English, and or French even, because Canada has English and French as two of the official languages. Number 3 is, try to get internships, try to align your skills to the requirements of Canada. Like if you're in IT, right now, AI related programming, Python, SAP, HANA, then Salesforce, all these are technical skills which are in demand. Or if you are in the tourism sector, Canada is known to have a very big tourism sector, then you must know the marketing, sales, you must know Salesforce or HubSpot CRM and the ERP, you must know how to convince customers. So be equipped properly. And next point is go with a mind that you have to struggle. Lots of people, millions of people go and settle in Canada, but I would say very few have it very easily, because Canada is a very nice place, beautiful place, but there's a lot of competition from Canadians, permanent residents, as well as international students, as well as people getting the work study or directly coming with a work permit. So it's not very easy to break into it, especially for freshers, because there's something in Canada, I know it bothered me even, it's called the Canadian work experience. Now for a fresher coming from another country, how will you get a Canadian work experience, right? So it's a chicken and egg story. Unless you get a Canadian work experience, you will not be hired, and then unless you are hired, how will you get a Canadian work experience? So the way I did it is through teaching assistantships, research assistantships. I volunteered a lot, and that is something that I cannot highlight enough. Try to volunteer your time. You will have Canadian at least volunteer experience or volunteer works experience that you can put in your resume even if you are not getting money. Number 2 is, you will get a lot of network, lot of contacts, and those networks can give you some break. Third is, attend a lot of conferences, lot of workshops. In those conferences and workshops also you can get a lot of referrals. And in Canada, where the market is relatively small rather than US, which has a much bigger market, a lot of recruitment happens through references. A lot of recruitment happens through recommendation letters. So keep a very good connection with your professors, with your seniors, with your other contacts which you can get through volunteering, through internships, as well as through other conferences and all. I remember I was going to conferences, and I got a lot of cards, and I followed up with those contacts with my area of research or projects, and I got a lot of interviews from those references. So that is also one of the very important points which most students ignore, because volunteering, internships, networking, being teaching assistant or research assistant, these are very, very useful I would say tools or useful endeavors to build up your resume, build up your confidence, get that Canadian experience and Canadian network, so that you can crack into a job in Canada. And most of all, take a long-term view. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a struggle, but there are, almost all people I know, I've seen, they've struggled. Some struggled 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but they have got into the job market, into the areas they were looking for, they were dreaming about. But it's also about your competency, right? Because Canada is a relatively smaller market. Really the very competitive people, very competent people, experts, they thrive into the job market. If you're weak in those skill areas, Canada is difficult to break into. And many people, they actually do odd jobs, right? They do odd jobs like in the McDonald's or the Tim Hortons, or sometimes in the retail, right? Because they are not getting the job that they are qualified for. It's because they have to, either they're weak in English, or their level of expertise is not that. Because in Canada, it's really a country where competent people thrive. And if you're not competent, it's difficult. And then again, the experience, as I said, the Canadian job experience or work experience, then reference and networks matter a lot. I think it matters a little disproportionately higher than some other countries. But that is something that with an amicable approach, with a networking approach, volunteering approach, you can build a good network where people will be willing to vouch for you, vouch for your work ethics, or vouch for your honesty, integrity and expertise. So it's just being out there and doing it, rather than just keeping on applying or just studying and applying for a job. In addition to study, you have to work a lot, network a lot, volunteer a lot, and keep trying with a positive spirit. And I know hundreds of colleagues, batchmates, juniors, they all got a job, all are well settled in Canada. So I think you can also be well settled in Canada. But as I said, in summary, Canada is a country of very competent people. If you don't have that competency, if you don't have the knowledge, it's very difficult to lie your way into a good job, or or keep that job in Canada, because it's a very nice country. It's a beautiful country with a very beautiful landscapes, healthcare, polite people, very nice people, developed roadways, developed infrastructure. So good people, competent people want to stay in Canada. So that's why those who are less competent, it's very difficult to break into that job market in Canada. So I think with all these preparation and keeping a positive spirit, keeping honesty, integrity, expertise, experience, Canadian experience, if you keep on trying, you'll definitely make it big in Canada and get through.
Thank you so much, sir.
Glad to be of help.
Professor Alex, one of our viewers is facing a workplace related problem, that she is not being able to get noticed in a huge team. Only the seniors and the higher management are getting visibility and are getting noticed. So what should she do in order to get better promotions and better visibility?
This is a very important question. In corporate terms, it's called visibility, right? So all juniors face this problem, that how to get visibility with the higher management, right? So because if you have visibility, the work you are doing will get the importance, will get noticed, and then you will climb up the ladder, corporate ladder, faster. So let me tell you from my experience, because I had this same problem when I at that time I was did my masters in UBC and got into a telecom firm in Canada. So one of Canada's biggest telecom firms. So that 20,000 employees, right? So me being a just out of college, a fresher, you can understand that getting visibility was very difficult. But I got it, and I learned many things, and I applied it in practice. Let me tell you that. So firstly, I think that in the team meetings, I would see juniors, they used to keep quiet. So first and foremost, when you are in team meetings, raise your hands and ask intelligent questions. This is the most important I think solution to visibility, that you must ask questions firstly. Second of all, many young professionals, especially freshers or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years experience, those don't have 10, 15, 20 years experience, those who are junior, they're afraid to ask questions or talk with senior management. But I always tell my students, my viewers, my mentees that it doesn't matter what your position is. What matters is you're working for the company, you're working for products. If you think that you have a concern that is important for the product or for the project and the senior management must know about it, then you should ask, because then the senior management will listen carefully, because it doesn't matter who you are, but matters what your question is or what your concern is. So and that's what I saw, that we had those town hall sessions with the CIO and with CTOs, right? And and sometimes we had networking lunches and networking dinners, and I always made a point to ask very relevant questions. And I noticed that even I was a nobody, I was just a fresher, they always used to give importance, because they knew about those high level projects that they were working on. And when I asked those very relevant questions, then they used to always answer, and then they used to ask my name, what's your name? So that way I kept on doing the two things, that first of all in the smaller team meetings you raise your hand, ask questions, and in the networking lunch, dinner or town halls, always ask relevant questions, or put forward the relevant concerns, because those senior management, they really want to know about these things. The next is presentation. Whenever you get a chance, present to like your seniors, like your manager or your senior manager. If your presentation is very professional, if it answers their queries, they will give you importance. And there is a way to present for executives, like it's called like a 1-page, 2-page executive presentation. You can just search it out. Basically there are traffic light summaries, and then there are bullet points for each project items. And then you can say, because you have to fit in a lot of information in 1 or 2 pages or slides, you can say there are a lot of modules or boxes in which you have those bullet points and you have the traffic light summaries. So that way you can give an overview of how things are going, the issues, checklists. So when you put those in a professional presentation, then the senior management they like it. And if you are articulate, if you can be fluent about those issues and convey to the stakeholders, then of course you will have visibility. Another thing that really worked for me was that I remember that when I was a junior project manager, I kept on taking projects which other seniors and senior project managers rejected. And I noticed that those projects gave me a lot of visibility. So if you take on some of the hard work which normally others will say, okay, that's fine, let me not, then you will get visibility, not maybe immediate or not maybe for 1, 2, 3 projects, but your 4th or 5th project may be a very important project, and you may get that visibility that you are looking for and you deserve. And the other point is that clients, if you are if clients like you, and if clients put in a good word for you, you will have the visibility that you deserve, because your senior managers and the entire management chain, they want to keep the client happy. So if you can impress upon the client, and the client applauds your work ethic or your deliveries, then definitely the management chain will look after you. They will think that you are a very high valued resource, an indispensable resource. Another thing is coming up with new and innovative ideas. I remember that in one of the projects I found out a way to increase the billing of, in the telcos the billing would start the next day, but our work would be done by 12 or 1. So I gave the idea that why don't you start billing one day before when you give connections, so that way you can bill one extra day, and one extra day with thousands, hundreds and thousands of customers is a lot of money. And if you calculate it over the year, it may, it was coming up with around $20 million. So that really put me, I put this forward to the VP, and that really got the VP excited, and she actually put this in work, and that got my name visible to all the senior management. Another thing is, I noticed that my immediate manager was quite frustrated with lot of emails and requests coming in, and I told my manager that I can make a workflow management system for you. It was like 20-25 years back. Now I think workflow management systems are there in CRMs like HubSpot and Salesforce. It's nothing new now, but at that time, 25 years back, when I gave this idea of a workflow management system, my manager said, fine, you get it done, let's see. And when I got it done for him, he was so happy, he referred me to the other directors of other business units. So all the business units, including the vice president, the CIO, slowly, within 1 year knew my name, that this is a boy, or this is a, who is very resourceful, gives ideas, asks questions, and works towards the, betterment of the company. And then within a quick, short years, I got the promotion from a project manager grade 1 to a grade 2. So, these things are, I think, very important, that always think that how I can benefit the company, how I can increase value for the shareholders, or bring in more revenue, improve my product, improve the features, cross sell, upsell products to the clients. All these will definitely get you noticed in the eyes of the senior management, and give you the visibility, promotions, and the quick gain in the corporate ladder.
Thank you so much, sir. I am sure employees worldwide, thousands of employees are facing these kinds of problems, so this will definitely help them.
Okay, glad to be of help. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Keep watching.